Hey, what's up guys? We're making this video to show you 5 things not to do in bachata.
La música que me hace vibrar, razones sin fin. Yo tengo para amarte así. Tu mirada, la luz al final de mi túnel. Escucho tu voz. Inmediatamente sé a dónde voy, porque yo te amo tú. Sin ti no hay verano, y ya no me aguanto, quiero correr a ti, porque tú lo vales. Cruzaré los mares, solo por besarte quiero correr a ti.
Hey, what's up guys? We're making this video to show you 5 things not to do in bachata. Who are we to tell you what not to do? We're nobody to tell you not to do in bachata.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. We're just making like a nice little fun video as an intro to what not to do.
If you're actually trying to become a really good bachata dancer that goes out to, let's say, like social dancing nightclubs and dance with people you don't know.
Yeah, this is like if you're going to classes, you want to like join dance teams, or you want to go to festivals, and you want to take dancing a little bit more serious. If you're just want to just dance bachata with your family or with your friends and you're chilling and like you're having like house parties and stuff, this is not for you. Whatever style that you dance in terms of like that, because even like I'm Dominican, some of the stuff that I just said right now, what not to do, a lot of Dominicans will still pop the hip. My mom she'll do some of the stuff like I got family and a lot of different friends, and if you go like back home, like if I go to my family's house, they're gonna be doing some of these things, yeah. So it's not to say that it's wrong if you feel like the flavor or whatever doing some of the things that we're saying not to do. It is also okay. Yeah?
But again, if you're trying to take this more seriously, you want to look a little bit more polished. You want your dancing to look really nice, and you want to impress people when you go out to a social dancing thing. You would not do these things. They're kind of like a no-no in the more professional category. Yeah?
So let's start with number 1. All of the things that we're saying is you can do it to a certain extent, but we're talking about super exaggerated. Yeah, because some people pop the hip, or you can play with the hip and be playful here, but we're talking about like super exaggerated. So you don't want to go 1, 2, 3, pop the hip so much that even your leg comes off the floor, or sometimes like you'll go like 1, 2, 3, taka, 1, 2, 3, taka. Yeah, it's just little things that happens when you start learning how to dance, especially if you go like to a lot of family parties, like nobody knows, like nobody's telling us. Like I didn't grow up even dancing bachata myself. The music was always around me, but you would just see what everybody's doing, and then you go on the dance floor and do whatever you think it feels right.
Yeah, plus on TikTok, they love that hip hop. But technically, you want your hip movement to be throughout your basic, and then your tap is just a hip movement, but it is not a lifting the leg or crazy lifting of the hip. It's just a push down, and you lift it to return to do your basic. Got up, boom, especially in place here.
Yeah, so what we'll do is like we'll actually teach you a little bit of things of what to do instead if you want to know. So when you're doing your basic steps, there's different versions of this. Like we'll make a video specific to hip movement, but when you're doing your basic step, you're going 1, 2, 3, and just a regular tap. When you're doing this tap, again, it's not a hip hop or anything crazy here. You can if you want to, it's okay, but just in case.
The hip movement comes from your knee stretching here, boom, and your hip raises. So a lot of people will keep the knee bent and like pitch their hip like this, but it's actually from this movement. If you straighten your knee, it forces that hip up. Yeah, so it's pushing down into the floor, and that's what creates a hip movement, not an isolated lifting of this side.
Yeah, it's like when a lot of the times people do this in bachata also, because as soon as you think bachata, people think like, oh, they think flavor, they think hips, like you bachata, you got to do that hip thing, yeah? And then automatically this starts coming out because it's forced. We always try to, when we teach body movement or anything with the hips, you want the movement to happen fluid, you want it to be natural, you don't actually have to think about doing a hip hop or anything, yeah? Especially when you start dancing more Dominican style bachata, a lot of the flavor stays in place, like you're here Kung, 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 taka, ting, king, tung. And a lot of the movement there comes from like a double step feel. So if I do a double step, watch my hips. It's gonna go step, 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 double step, step. Like there's like fluid movement the whole time. So it's doing this, tiki ta, tung ka, tiki ta. Yeah. We're not gonna do a dedicated video just to that, but we wanna show you like there's different options of the hip. And a lot of, if you want to be super safe, 1, 2, 3, just keep it neutral. Boom, 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 keep it neutral. It's going to look a little stale if you do that, but the more you dive into videos of more explanations of hip movement the proper way, it'll just get better and it'll feel a little bit more natural.
Like hip movement should just look effortlessly really great. You shouldn't be like, dang, that's a lot of hip movement, you know, or like, whoa. If that's the kind of like, if someone was watching and they had that kind of like, whoa, what's going on there? It's too much. Yeah, so it should just look like effortlessly kind of sexy, but not too much. Yeah? So that's the first one. No hip pop.
The second thing, I believe it was the hand movement. So again, you'll see us in videos where we move the hands. You'll see other dance videos where people are moving the hands. It's not wrong. I'm not saying like that you have to be like a stiff
rigid
robot like and not move the hands. The hands will move. They have like their own little flavor. Yeah, as they're doing. Again, we're talking exaggerated movements.
Like circular. A lot of people do this like circular thing.
Yeah, so a lot of the times when we're teaching like a beginner class, mainly when you're first starting out, again, you're trying to add that
flair,
that flavor, yeah. So the arms just kind of start doing this motion, like they just go on hyperdrive, yeah. And the reason we say not to do this is because it can be confusing for a partner. They're not going to know exactly when you're going to give them a turn because there's so movement here, yeah. Versus if you're just like nice and relaxed, doing a natural flow, but then when the hand does something obvious, she's like, okay, a turn is coming. It kind of just prepares you for something, and it's just not a lot of movement, and then this kind of just takes away from the dance.
All you can focus on is the arms. So, and the arms is not the focus of bachata. If anything, it would be the hips and then the connection of the moves, not what the hands are doing. Another thing is like arm movement, like he's talking about, comes from the body. Yeah, so when I move my body, my arms will naturally move, or if we move them in a specific way, we do it intentionally. What we're talking about here is when only from like the elbow down is doing like a circular movement, and if you notice, it's completely disconnected from anything I'm doing. The arms are just kind of like flailing around, where if they move naturally, they're moving because my torso is moving. It's a really, really different kind of movement than this.
Yeah. Again, this is just something that's also going to help you if you go to a studio and you start taking classes, especially something like this, because you want to, when you're dancing a little bit more proper bachata, you want to be super clear with your leads. So there's still movement here. They want to know exactly when you're doing a turn or different preps. It's going to help you a lot when you start taking classes if you want to go more towards that, like professional route, or just like more social dancing and going out nightclub.
Yeah, a really good, well, I think it's a good analogy, but it might not make sense to you, is like if you're driving behind someone and the person's like going like this in their lane, and then all of a sudden they change lanes, it would be unclear, right? Or if someone's like driving really straight, they turn on their blinker, and then they move lanes. You're like, oh, okay, they're going straight, they're signaling that they're going to turn, they're getting over. They're not just like doing crazy erratic stuff and then switching around, because you're like, what is happening with that person? It's really same with dancing. This would be that person who's driving really smooth, you know what's going to happen. Here's their turning on their blinker. Great, they're going to signal a turn. Everything's really clear. He's telling you what to do in a really clear manner. The minute he's doing this, I don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden this like erratic turn's going to happen, and the person who's leading me seems really erratic, like I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, so maybe that makes sense. Hopefully that does. But yeah, so that's number 2, no arm circles.
Number 3, so the third one is
posture.
Posture, leaning into your partner. Not that you can't dance close, but it's like you're putting your weight on her and she has to do like this crazy little matrix back bend while you're doing this. This is like super common. Yeah, back when I was dancing in people's like quinceañeras and stuff, you have like a lot of that going on, yeah? Again, not that it's wrong. If you want to, you get it. Like you're dancing bachata with your mama sota or your boyfriend, girlfriend. You're like, oh, let's get in there, girl. Like, yeah, let's just dance all super close and stuff. Again, we see what's around us when we grow up dancing bachata and nobody's telling us how to do it the proper way. We're like, okay, like this is how it's done. Yeah.
The number one reason you don't do that is it hurts the girl's back. Like, even if you think, oh, that's how you get close, no, it hurts the girl's back. Any girl who, it's going to hurt 90% of girls' back. The 10 that it doesn't, they're amazing. That's great for you. But for me, as soon as he leans on me, it pinches right here, and I feel like I'm holding his body weight on top of me. And my instant reaction is probably going to be more to back away because he's coming towards me. So it's nothing to do with like being snooty and telling you can't do it. It just kind of hurts. So to be close, we can absolutely be super close, but we're both in our own space.
Yeah,
upright.
So anytime you guys are dancing close, it's like there is a sensual position here. A lot of the bachata that you see now is like in super close position, yeah? So you can still do this, but again, notice I'm not going over on top of her space. I'm just staying straight. We're here, we do our bachata, boom. We can do even rotations from here and come around without invading her space, yeah? So you
I'm
can still
He's
be close together. It's just we're not breaking that posture. Again, we say this because if you go take classes and stuff, a lot of the instructors, they'll have you in a frame like this, like a nice posture, or they'll have you here and they're going to instruct people. So we're giving you like a heads up, like notice of what to do if you want to get more serious in bachata. Because if you go in and you start doing this to somebody, the girls are going to be like, oh,
They're
my
not
God,
gonna
every
like
time I
dancing with
dance
you.
with that guy, I like my back. Yeah. So it's just a little tip to help you in terms of your posture.
Yep. So the next one is not gripping the hands. And in our demonstration, we're showing the guys gripping the girls' hands, but the same is true for the girls. You don't grip the guys' hands. So even though our hands are closed, they're not squeezing ever in any manner.
Yeah, so the hands, there's a lot of different hand positions. They can be here, they can be in this position. Again, you're going to probably be enclosed, but the thing that we don't want to do is squeeze the arms. Like if you ever heard the term like when you go to class and when you start dancing, a very nice word that spreads like if somebody's getting hurt is there's
rough.
like the rough guy. Yeah, you do not want to be the rough guy, gentlemen. The word spreads fast. If you're the rough guy, nobody will want to dance with you because you're literally hurting the girl's hands, their wrist, and that's not fun to dance with, yeah? So when you're doing turns and I have like this grip that I don't change
Like,
to
look
adjust
at my
to the
fingers,
girls.
they're literally smashed.
Yeah, so you don't want to do this to the girl, and then when you start doing a turn, look what happens. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I'm messing up her wrist, and like, some people will force that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
And it just feels like you're wrestling the whole time.
Obviously, we're doing a super dramatized version of it, but
Yeah,
it's
everything that we're showing now is just exaggerated over the top. It's just
Yeah.
a fun video to show you that what not to do so you can see like it in obvious sense. So another thing that happens is the thumb clamping like this.
both guys and girls.
Same thing, and not adjusting your grip to the girl, because as soon as I turn her again, it creates this awkward feeling, and then I can't even finish the turn here without like messing with their hand.
Yeah.
Anytime you guys are dancing, especially for the guys, you want to adjust to the ladies' hands.
And
yeah?
ladies adjust to the guys' hands.
So anytime I'm doing a turn, I'm gonna make sure I go palm to palm. I give her the turn. I bring it back nice and low. Yeah, I'm always, if I'm doing like something like this, where a hand is gonna go behind her back, yeah, I'm constantly rotating the hand and adjusting so it's a nice feel for her. Yeah, you wanna make, anytime you guys are dancing bachata, you wanna make the ladies look good. You don't wanna make them feel like they're getting hurt. Yeah, from the outside, you gotta take care of the mommies.
And this can stem from a couple things. Ladies, if you're not maintaining connection with the guys, he'll start trying to hold on to you because he thinks you're going to slip away from him. So sometimes guys just do that, and it has nothing to do with the ladies, but ladies, make sure that you're not disconnecting. So if he puts his arm up, go ahead and like signal, I'm not slipping away, because then he's going to feel like he has to squeeze your hand and pull it up. So we always, no matter what, we're trying to stay connected to him. Imagine that there is a magnet to his hand. It doesn't mean we have to stay right there, but no matter where it goes, we're there. We're there. Unless he specifically tells our hand to go somewhere else, we're trying to stay connected gently. Yep, and then that'll keep him from gripping if needed. Yeah.
Yeah. The last thing, what not to do, is invading each other's personal, private space, especially if you don't know each other. If you know each other and you want to be like all up on each other, like, oh, like so good,
then
no
do whatever you
problem.
want.
It's bachata. It's a very close dance. As long as you're dancing with your significant other, your
Someone
boyfriend,
who's
girlfriend.
comfortable with that.
Yeah, this is mainly if you're dancing with somebody that you don't know. If you go to the club and you dance with somebody for the first time, you don't want to be grabbing in places that you shouldn't be grabbing, yeah? So the most common one, like, you don't want to be like this to somebody that you just, like, met for the first time and be, like, super, super close here and grabbing, like, her from the side. Especially here, you don't want to be like, oh, let's dance bachata, girl. Yeah, do not be the creep of bachata because, again, you got to respect the ladies when you guys are dancing. Yeah, just because it's bachata and it's a close dance doesn't mean you have every right to get close to the girl and put your hands wherever you deem necessary. Yeah,
yes.
Always respect the ladies. Yeah, stay in a position here.
So look at the hand when he was here.
Yeah, I'm here at her back. If you're in close position, it just wraps around a little bit more. If she allows you to get close, if we're here, hand-to-hand position, you never want to just go.
Or even here in this position, you keep it here. Don't start going too high. Don't go too close to her stomach. You know, like, you've got to keep, even if she's maybe, there's a first time you're dancing, maybe even don't get her into this position if she shows that she's timid at all and that you guys don't have that closeness. But
I got a bonus. There's a thing called like shadow position in bachata where you are behind the girls. Anytime you guys are behind the girls, do not go directly behind the girls and like that's very disrespectful, you know, like you don't want to be directly hello bachata girl. No good. Yeah, anytime we're here, we're off centered. Yeah, so it's like my thigh is what's connected to her when I'm behind her if we're doing a basic like this. Yeah.
Yep. So keep this in mind, guys. Like basically from here, like top of the chest, all the way halfway down this side, all the way to my belt, let's go all the way down here, is literally completely off limits. Don't go there. So when we're doing this position, don't hold here. If you're gonna be around the back, that's okay. Don't start holding the side unless you're really close with her or you guys have danced a lot and you already have established comfort in that area.
If you're a mom and you want to grab us like that, no problem. It's okay. We won't complain.
Yeah, I know. So when you do moves like this, make sure you have a lady that you're comfortable with. Or will you do the one that's across the chest? When you're doing this move, you're up here. You're not across the chest. So, and she's touching her body. You're not.
Yeah, that's more like for sensual style bachata.
Yeah.
Again, this still kind of applies to Dominican style too. Like a lot of Dominicans will be like close to be like, yeah, let's go, mama suota. Yeah, but you still gotta watch that hand. Like if you don't know them, like we're still respect. Like you can still be here dancing bachata or Dominican style. You can be here and playful and still do your
respect.
thing. But again, it always goes back to respect. If you're dancing with somebody that you don't know, if it's your girl, your guy, attack, do whatever you want. If you want to dance bachata like this, so good, no problem. Like you can do whatever you want.
But again, we're talking about going social dancing, dancing with people you either don't know or know in a very like distant, we're at a club together kind of manner.
So again, just a little small recap of the things not to do. Remember, if your tia, your tío, your grandpa, your grandma, they taught you the pop and all that stuff, and not to say that they're wrong. Again, I told you from the beginning, like I'm Dominican. A lot of Dominicans will even still do the things that we're saying right now. This is just if you're going more towards a proper route, if you want to do a little bit more like common, if you're going to like social dance club and taking classes and going to different bachata festivals and all that.
Teams, things like that.
Yeah, so the first one, remember, don't pop the hips, super exaggerated, boom, and pop. The second one was, remember, just try to relax the hands. There's still movement.
Natural.
But just natural movement. Third one, don't invade the lady's space.
Don't hurt her back.
Yeah, you can still be close, but just keep the posture more natural. The fourth one was...
Don't squeeze the hands.
Don't squeeze the hands.
Either ladies or guys.
The ladies' arms, their wrists, very gentle stuff here. Yeah, take care of your
like
mom.
a princess.
You don't want to do this and attack with rough. Don't be that rough guy, gentlemen. And then the last one, respect the ladies always in dance, not just bachata, every single thing. Yeah, especially if you don't know them, don't grab in personal, close areas, no good. Yes, yes. So again, we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Share this with your friends. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe to us. It's either on this side or this side. Please subscribe. Is it this side over here? Yeah, this side. Make sure to subscribe to our future videos. We have a lot of tips and things if you guys want to learn bachata. We have beginner stuff, intermediate. Look at the description if you want to check out also our online course. Nicole, Demetrio, Bachata Dance Academy. We'll see you guys in the next video.